All right, welcome back to a day in the life of the asset manager and an underwriter. And today we're going to be learning a little bit more about leadership. Again, if you haven't heard, that's where most of my background is actually is on the leadership side of things. So I have about 13 years of management experience. I worked for a large retail corporation, multi-unit manager for them. Long story short, they would send me to like the places that were really struggling and say, go fix this, otherwise we're going to go close the store. So underwriting is kind of almost exactly that, right? Like a lot of properties that you underwrite, it's, hey, go fix this or we're going to go close the store. So, so we're trying to find inefficiencies and how to fix them and, what we can do better. And so the reason that we talk about leadership is because so much of what we do is in that leadership vein, right? If you're an underwriter, you have to learn to work with other people. You have to learn to work with KPs. You have to learn how to execute your plan. If you are, in the process of being an asset manager, currently an asset manager, you have to know how to work with other GPs. You have to know how to work with your property management team, your asset management team, all of that stuff. And so a lot of the stuff that we've talked about is going to be building on the foundation of what we already talked about. And so I just want to remind everybody really quick of one thing that we talked about because it's going to link to this topic that I'm going to talk about today. So we talked about your say-do ratio. If anybody remembers what that is, it's exactly how it sounds. What do you say versus what do you do? Are you a good say-do ratio person? When you tell people, I will get this done, do you get it done? Your word is your bond and you need to stick to it. And that's really how people are going to know who you are and what you do. And that's why we've talked to everybody and we said, hey, every Monday, 4 o'clock, we're jumping on here. We're going to be holding this webinar for everybody to talk. And we hold to it. So our say-do ratio is high on that. And so what we're going to talk about today is in that same vein of say-do ratios. Again, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to see if the world blows up. So. All right. Everybody should see the word brands. Is that what everybody's saying?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. So we're going to talk about brands, and this can apply to multiple things, right? Like I want everybody to think about the brand of their business, and I want people to think about what I call personal brand. When I say Lorick Harding, it's the first three things that come to mind when you think about Lorick. That's his personal brand. And so when people talk about your business, what do they think about? I'm going to pick on Kim, Meadowlark, right? When you think about Meadowlark, what's the first three things that come to mind? That's going to be the brand that Meadowlark has. So we're going to do an exercise real quick, and I need group participation. And because I'm presenting, I can't see the chat. So Lorick, you're in charge of the chat. So we're going to go through a couple of brands, and I need you to first three things that pop into your mind, put them in the chat. Unmute yourself if you're David and you're driving, and you shouldn't be typing, and mention the first three things that come to mind. Okay. So first brand that we're going with is McDonald's. Somebody hit me with, what brand does McDonald's have?
Cardboard.
I heard hardcore, but I think that's wrong.
No, I said cardboard.
Oh, yes, cardboard. Probably more consistent than hardcore. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, yeah, cardboard. Great, right? And that can be taken multiple ways, right? Like it tastes like cardboard, or they serve their food in cardboard. So, anything else?
We've got food fast, cheap.
Yeah.
Big Mac, fries, fast food. Jerry said not so cheap anymore.
Yeah, no kidding. You do have to admit though, their fries, like if they're right out of the fryer and like fresh salt and they put enough salt on them, almost nothing beats their fries. But if they cool down 1 degree, they're terrible. All right, next one, Tesla.
Innovative.
Innovative, absolutely. There's no right or wrong answer to these, by the way.
I feel like a negative ninny today. My first thought was on fire.
Yeah, but that's your perspective of their brand, right? Like, could be
It's
expensive, could be on fire, could be controversial because the owner picks a fight with pretty much anybody he can pick a fight with.
the irony is this is illustrating your point because that's actually not my perception of the brand. That just happened to be the first thing that popped into my head.
Okay, I like where that's going. Anything else, Lorik?
In the chat, we have junk and expensive electronic weird design.
I said Tesla, not specifically Cybertruck. No. All right, we're gonna do another one. We're gonna do Apple. We got lovers and we got haters.
Overpriced.
Overpriced, says the Samsung user. No.
So far, we've got overpriced and quality.
Yeah, right? I think of their, like, the first thing that pops into my mind is the boxes. They spent millions of dollars on the design for specifically the box for the iPhone because they wanted, when you grabbed the top of the lid and pulled up, it would fall out of the box. It took 4 seconds. And they specifically said it's going to take 4 seconds for this phone to come out of that box because we want 4 seconds of anticipation. And that was worth millions of dollars to them. It's crazy. Anything else? All
I won't
right.
give my
Steve,
hot takes.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, right? Gary Wozniak.
Yep.
Not a lot of people remember him, right? So, all right, Disney. We only got two more of these. Disney. Do we have lovers? Do we have haters? People like Disney.
Kim said
Ruined
no
Star Wars.
comment.
What'd you say, Lord?
I said Kim said no comment.
I miss Uncle Walt.
Yeah.
Yes. Diminishing returns. That's mine.
I just said they ruined Star Wars. Like straight up, no questions asked. Oh, whoop, 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 whoop. Scroll wheel. Don't use the scroll wheel, Tyler.
Sun Cruise and Fireworks. Walt, Mickey, and a horrible media company.
Yep, that's probably fair. All right, last one is Boeing. We'll see who keeps
Quality
up.
control.
You what?
Quality control.
Kim
Quality.
said doors falling off.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof.
Best when it comes to commercial flight engineering.
Okay.
Airplanes, Mechanical Genius, and Hue Company.
Okay. Perfect. So we're gonna move on now to kind of why we went through this, right? So let's let's really quick look at a couple of these, right? So McDonald's, right? If you look at McDonald's branding, when they first came out, it was all about how quickly can we get a halfway decent burger to you for, what was it, like 25 cents or something, 5 cents a burger.
I think 10 cents.
And you what?
I think it was 10 cents where they
10
started.
cents, yeah.
Yep.
So that was their mission statement when they started, and they were known for that. And then you hit like the 90s, and it was like, hey, halfway decent food, very quick service, and affordable pricing when it came to, going through a drive-through. And today they're trying to like rebrand to where it's not, quick, fast, cheap, easy food. It's, hey, we have a gourmet burger and we have, this gourmet chicken sandwich that has like all the accoutrements on it and things. And so they're trying to change their brand from where they are to something that they want to be. And we'll see if they actually are able to do it. It's hard to change, what is that? They're probably like 70 years old or something at this point, to change that perspective from a very, very long time. Now you have Tesla. Tesla is a newer company, right? And people are hit or miss on whether they love Tesla or they hate Tesla. And the people that love Tesla love it because they were one of the first ones in the smart car space, in the electric side, in the innovation that they've brought. They've challenged the market to do different things. But publicity-wise, right, like cars being set on fire, reaching 5,000 degrees inside. You also have the owner that's, a little different and likes to antagonize. And so he's all over the news for all kinds of different things. And so a little bit different on that one, right? We have Apple. Apple's a little bit divisive because they're the rivals to PCs. And, Windows came out, they dominated the market. Apple took some of their space, big fight between them. I think it's very much a left brain, right brain kind of thing on whether people like Apple or they don't like Apple. But what is their brand, right? If you walk into an Apple store, their brand is very clean. There's zero trash on the ground. Everything is fully stocked. You'll never walk in and see like a whole rack of stuff missing product. It's always 100% full. You will always be greeted. Someone will always walk up to you and say, how can I help you? What are you looking for? Let me get you to talk to a genius, right? They're very intentional about their branding and how they want to be perceived. And some people love that. Other people hate that they do that. And it's so different. Disney. I don't want to go too deep into Disney because it's a rabbit hole that you can fall down and never come back from because you get stuck smoking a hookah down there. It's all over the place, right? You have agenda-driven things, you have family-driven things, you have just the way that political devices work inside of the Disney complex. But I still love going to Disney World and Disneyland. It's a fun place to go. So it's all over the place with this one. And they keep raising their price, and they said that they were going to be the cheapest streaming, and they just lied. You have Boeing, okay? Let's talk about Boeing for a second. When we talk about brands, Boeing is a prime example of how you can take one of the industry standard brands. This is the, if somebody invented the ruler for aircraft, it's Boeing. They were the ones that did it all. Everybody said, how are we going to be the next Boeing? And then they had quality control issues. They had doors falling off mid-flight. And it has been a very uphill battle for them to regain their brand as the number one inside that market. It's been very challenging for them. So let's link all of this together, right? So your business and you all have a brand. You all have built something. And your brand can be different with different people, right? It can be different with family. It can be different with friends. It can be different with coworkers. But you need to really sit down and assess, what do you want your brand to stand for? Whether it's this one here, your company's brand, or whether it's this one here, your own personal brand. And that's why I said it really aligns with that say-do ratio that we talked about, right? Your personal brand is very, very much built on what you say is what you do. And if you do not follow through with what you do, your personal brand falls very quickly. No one wants to be associated with that. So I would challenge you to go home or be at home or just think about, put on paper your own brand, your personal brand and your company's brand. What do you want to be known for? I'll tell you, we've done this at High Caliber, right? We want to be known for integrity. We want to be known for transparency. And there was a third one, but I forgot. Ulrich, what's our third one?
Honesty.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot. Honesty is part of it. That's part of the integrity side.
Sure.
We talked about like 40 different things that we want to be known for, and we kind of narrowed it down to three of them. Sorry, my camera went out of focus. There we go. We narrowed it down to three of them, and I have the mission statement on my computer. But anyways.
Excellence.
Integrity,
Boom. Transparency, and excellence.
You what?
Yeah, honesty, transparency, and excellence.
Yep. I should have remembered excellence, man. I'm still working on being excellent. So that's something that, like, okay, when you hear High Caliber, we want people to think those three things about us. And so how do we get to that point, right? How do we get to the point where people think these guys are always transparent? That they'll tell you, man, I forgot my own mission statement right here, and I'm recording it, and I'm gonna put it on YouTube later. How do we get to that point where people think about us and they think excellence? And so we built our own business plan around those three and how we're going to shape our own business for that. But then we had to introspectively turn to ourselves and say, if our company needs to be known for that, we have to be known for that. So that needs to be our personal brand, are those three things. And that is going to reflect in our company and vice versa. Right? So, personal brand, company brand. Work on it, think about it, come up with a plan, really figure out how you want to be known in this space. So, I'll open it up to questions. Anybody have any questions? Anthony told me just to cut that part out. That would be very transparent of us, would it? All right. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I got blurred again. That was everything that I had for today. So if you don't have any questions, then you guys are free to leave, and we appreciate you being here. Otherwise, we'll field questions for the next 10 minutes and just chat with you. Otherwise, we'll see you next Monday, 4 o'clock, and we're going to talk about underwriting because it's week 3. Whoop, whoop.
Where's our girl, Cindy?
So Cindy is, she has some doctor's appointments that are going on during this time, and it'll be for the next couple of weeks. But then after that, she'll be right back to it. There's a little bit of hiccup in the schedule, and we want to keep our word to you. And so we told you every Monday, 4 o'clock. And so Cindy will be back in the next couple of weeks.
She's hopefully feeling well.
Yes, she is feeling much better and is almost done. So we always love that.
Good deal.
I saw a post on Facebook from Cindy, and she put one of your properties up where you guys just put in a pickleball court.
Yep.
It looks awesome. And
Yeah.
it looks like there's some playground equipment there and stuff, and that property is looking really good.
Yeah, so we had a basketball court, and our initial underwriting was to fix the basketball court because when we went out to do due diligence, it had one basketball hoop up, no net, and it was like super faded. The other basketball hoop was totally torn down, and so we're like, cool, we can come in, we can fix this basketball court, we can make it a beautiful basketball court. And we talked with the property management that was on site, and we're like, hey, we want to do this. And they're like, please do not do that. And we're like, well, that's usually not the response that we get when we say, hey, we're going to come in and fix something. And they're like, people stay out till all hours of the night with boom boxes, blasting music, playing basketball. We were getting noise complaints, so we took the hoop down on purpose.
And we were getting people that did not live at the community that were coming into the apartment complex because there's no basketball court like within 20 miles or 10 miles of the property. And so everybody would come to play basketball there. So
So
I believe that we live across the street from a school, and people come in and they just drive their cars right up on the playground and crank up their music and just play basketball. And finally, the police had to start, I don't know, somebody started calling and the police would come and just ask the people to leave. So, yeah, I think that's probably exactly what happened.
So we knew that we couldn't put up basketball because it was going to be an issue. So we sent a poll out to the community and we said, hey, we want to repurpose this basketball court. Here are the 4 ideas that we have. And we put another box so somebody can, put whatever they think is the best thing to do with it. But pickleball was by far the top answer for that. And so we repurposed it to a pickleball court. And we don't have pictures of it yet because we haven't done it yet, but we are changing out the playground to put in a really nice playground that is child safe, no lead in the paint, all that fun stuff, so that people can lick it and it'll be fine. And so we're doing that. That's the next project that's coming up there. But yeah, I mean, really the purpose of it is to revitalize the community, right? Like we want people to be excited to live there and say like, I have cool things at my apartment complex. And so, doing the playground, we've talked about this before, right? It's really hard to calculate an ROI on a playground. But it's something that we feel strongly that we should do to be able to build the community up. We got a pickleball court going in. We in that post, it showed the remodels that we did. So taking those really classic looking units and really making them, beautified and put some granite countertops in there and have a great place to be able to live. So
Nice. How much did you spend on your renovations for each unit to get that look?
oof.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot there. I was just curious what that might cost. What's the
Yeah.
square footage? Do you know the square footage of the unit?
Well, so we did a 1 bedroom, a 2 bedroom, and a 3 bedroom.
Okay.
And so the reno cost is increasingly higher depending on the square footage, obviously. But
Yeah.
then the ones that we've turned already for the full reno were the ones that were like very distressed. So we took the worst out of the group, and we knew that that was going to be the highest reno cost because there was the most to do in there. But then with any time that you start doing stuff like this, right? And this is why underwriting is a nightmare, because when you punch into that wall, you have no idea what you're going to find. And so that we found some issues that we had to go and fix, and so the rental cost got even higher. And so we're still in the process of figuring out how much it's going to cost us per unit to be able to do those renos, because like I said, there was a lot that went into the first couple, and so those are not the benchmark that we're looking for on the next ones. So to answer your question, we know exactly how much it costs us, but we don't know how much it's going to cost us in the future.
And that was also one thing that we kind of ran up against as well, is that we wanted to try the floor plans had the potential for us to open them up and make an open floor plan. Because I mean, they were built in the 70s, and so everything's very compartmentalized. You know, you have a kitchen that's separate from the living room. And so on some of the units, we had the potential to open up between the kitchen and the living room and really make kind of an open concept. And so we did try it on some of those units, and so those costs are obviously higher because we had demo in there. We changed the configuration of the cabinets, so I don't know if we'll continue doing that. We'll have to see kind of what our ROI is on doing a major overhaul like that, or if we just do a regular kind of premium or upgraded unit. So
Yeah, that was my question, Lork. Are you achieving what sort of return on investment of the ones that you've done so far have you achieved?
well, we just finished the renovations recently, so we're still working on leasing. So I'm interested to see where we land. I think it'll be a good tell on what the market
Yeah,
wants in that
that's
area. So yeah.
We got to find out if the
that's
juice
a
is
good
worth the
tip.
squeeze. Anthony, you had your
Well,
hand
you
up?
guys are doing it the right. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Just going to say that you guys are doing it the absolute right way. Don't, do 100, don't do 70 of them or whatever. Test the market, see what it will bear, and then you have a guide for future actions.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that was kind of what my question was leading into is, are you rewriting, sorry guys, are you rewriting your underwriting to factor into for the problems you guys found? Do you expect to see those in future apartments, etc.?
Yeah. So, I mean, anytime that you go into a project, you should kind of snapshot the underwriting of like, hey, initially, this is exactly what we thought it was going to be. This is our projections that we pitched to investors. And you kind of save that, don't touch it. But then you have another copy that's a living, breathing document that you're always tweaking, you're always going through and saying, we had to pull money from here to pay here. And the renos cost more or they cost less, and continuing to pull those levers to see if everything keeps shifting, where are we going to end up, and what do we need to do in order to hit the metrics that we had projected for our investors. So yeah, it's column A, column B. You have one
Right.
that you don't touch, and then you have one that's a living document.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Very good. Very good.
All right. Well, yeah, that puts us right at about 4:30. So we appreciate you guys for being here. Anthony, good to have you back, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Good to see you guys.
yeah, appreciate everybody, and we'll see you next week.